So it says my preview is currently disabled. Hmm. And it's a delay. Enable the previews. Oh, okay, so there's the preview screen. Okay. Alright. Unsecond one. I see you. Hey, what's up? So this is interesting. I'm doing a test, but I'm going to be talking about tarot. I don't think you can see the decks. I think they're reversed. Are they showing up? Oh wait, they might be showing up right for you. So I was just going to talk about my tarot. Hmm? Okay, well, I'll see it on the replay. So I'm talking about tarot. Now the other thing that's interesting is that the chat from the last stream is showing up here. So maybe I should hit not hit because this is not a touch screen. Maybe I should click on refresh chat. Whew, I'm burning up. I got this light right here. It's kind of amazing how much heat a light bulb generates. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulous. I think that's the camera right there. I'm going to do a quick chat about my tarot decks, my little collection that I have with me now, which is probably the biggest collection I've ever had. I don't think I've ever had like more than two or three tarot decks at a time. So I just want to go through the decks that I have because I didn't want to come back just for nothing. But I don't know. I don't have any. I never talk about tarot on this on this stream. It is reviews reverse because this is this side, but it's showing up as the other side there. So probably the images are going to be reversed. Hey, S. Wiseman, Leotis Brown Jr. Peace, peace, peace. Um, so I don't know. I know that a lot of people. I talk to people not all the time, but it seems like probably for every two times that I talk to somebody about tarot, somebody tells me one person at least is going to be like, I'm scared of tarot. I don't mess around with that. Isn't that evil? Is that the devil's work? All of that kind of stuff. I have two sets of tarot cards I really like. So, but I love tarot cards. I am a firm believer in following your spirit and trusting yourself. If something is not for you, it's not for you. I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. If something speaks to you, I think that's beautiful and wonderful. Of course, we kind of filter what speaks to us and why through, our common sense. But anyway, the very first deck that I got when I started to study tarot was the African tarot deck. And this is not actually not my original deck. I just got this one like a couple few weeks ago because as many decks as I got, I still really like this one. This is not by I don't think this is by black people. The company is US Game Systems. I don't know if any black people do cards for them, illustrate cards, write decks for them. I don't know. But I know that the size of this deck I really, really like. It's small. I can handle it. I've stopped shuffling, but I can shuffle this one. I stopped shuffling in the way that I used to shuffle. I love the imagery. The artwork is very, I guess people might use the term primitive. I don't really know what the appropriate term is in the context of art studies, but I like the artwork because it's very, it's almost stick figurish. It does not look like real people to me. In general, with art, I have this thing about real people where I kind of like for my like for metaphysical work for art that I have on my wall. I like things to be more symbolic so that different people can be represented. Good to see you too. So that my subconscious can project onto the piece who the people is. I don't want the people to tell me, and I don't want some real person staring out at me. I don't know why, because it's like I don't know who they are. I don't know what their vibration is. So I like figurative images. So this one, you see how the Fool looks. The Fool is one of my favorite cards in the deck. They almost look kind of stick figurish to me. I like that everybody is brown. And I also like that this deck in general is a traditional Rider Waite type imagery. So you can use any, when you're used generally, when you look at tarot cards, there is, um, move them a little slower on screen. They blur a little when you flash them. Yeah, so this was the very first deck that I had when I started collecting other decks. I kept thinking about this deck, and I don't know where my original deck is anymore of the African Tarot. I'm hoping that I'll come across it again. I have moved a lot and just in a lot of transition, things kind of, I don't know where certain things are. So I have no idea where my original African tarot deck is. But now I have another one. I never stopped thinking about my African tarot even when I started collecting new decks. So this is kind of like my first and my last deck. Um, and then over the past, during this year, I ended up doing two tarot workshops. And I was back and forth between Detroit and Columbus. And I was gifted this deck. And this is called the Ghetto Tarot. I don't think that the imagery is showing up. I was gifted this deck by Ayapo. And it's one of my favorite decks. I just spent all this time talking about how I do not like images on cards. This is also not fully by Black people. I think that the main artist and the leader of the crew was a white woman, but according to what is written, the Black folks were involved with naming the deck and with the light is too hard. Y'all can't really see this one, but the imagery is gorgeous. This is the Hangman. Ugh. The imagery is gorgeous. I love the faces of these people. The people really work for me with the cards and what like it's like the people who are on these cards actually seem to fit these cards. Um, um, yeah, we're still getting the glare. Is that one reversed? And this deck is larger than a normal size deck. These decks started to encourage me to, working with larger decks started to encourage me to shuffle in different ways. And I feel that that will help. Yeah, I think I just have to get the angle right. Um, that will help with preserving. Oh, look at this. This is the Three of Cups. If you're not a tarot, but this is like, look at these women on this Three of Cups. I love this. So I love this deck. It is a beautiful deck. Look at the Empress. Um, I'm just doing an overview. One day I want to do like a collection, just like, a deck reveal on each deck and really talk about it. Oh, look at Death. Now there is a deck called the Voodoo Tarot, but I've never been drawn to that one. Um, yeah, this one is called the Ghetto Tarot, um, and I really like this one. I really like it. I don't have any decks that have photographs on them. Um, so, and then look at the backing. I didn't show y'all the backing on the on the African tarot, but this is a really nice one, and I try to keep it in pristine condition. And I've done readings with this one. Some of them I haven't done readings for other people yet with them, but this is one that I have done. And I've started asking people to choose a deck that speaks to them. So this, I actually did a reading with this deck, and it was for someone else, and it was really, ooh, I might have to do this later because it may be too hard for me to get everything in. Uh, Hold on. I want to keep everything in good condition here. Okay, so that's that deck. And then this deck I got when I was in Detroit. I attended. Oh wait, I wanted to show you. This is back to the African tarot, and I just wanted to look at the Empress. Uh, I love this deck. I just wanted to show you the back on this one too, because I love the backing on this one. Yeah. So um, I've never used tarot cards before. Yeah, I love tarot cards. I think of tarot work, astrology work. Most metaphysical work is just about working with yourself, as far as I'm concerned. Although I have been, I do readings, and I just take donations. I don't have it as a business. Ironically, I had my first reading 2 nights back. Hey, Unsunken One. This is the back of this deck is called the Sun and Moon Tarot. And I got this deck from a store in Detroit a couple years ago from Amayana store. No, not Amayana. Dang, I can't. I'll have to think of the name of the store. But I wanted a deck with black people on it, and this was the closest that I could get. It's black and brown people, and I really, I know I keep saying this, but the imagery, like, look at the universe. I really like the imagery on this. I don't know. I don't think this. Look at the Two of Swords. Like, look at the scale of this. Like the person on this card. Oh, it's fabulous. I've never had a reading. And then look at the hair on these people. They look like locks to me. Um, the lovers. This is an interracial couple. Or else maybe she just real light skinned and blind. The Eight of Cups. Like, oh, look at this. The Two of Cups. Look at the scale. Okay, here's the Fool. See, I could go through every single card. This deck, it's just something about it that, okay, I was going to show you the Hermit, but look at the Queen of Wands. Look at that body language. Yeah, I definitely need a preview screen because I can't see nothing. Yeah, okay, so that's this deck. It's called Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa DeCourt. And this deck was I've read with this deck. I've done readings for people with this deck. I did at a what event was that? It was like a sun solstice event, or a it was something. I did readings. I do readings by donations. I'm always available for readings by donations because that's what I've been instructed to do. And then this deck, when I moved here, we would go to this place all the time called on Half Price Books. And so this little deck, when I was traveling, I really liked it because it's small and compact. It's easy for me to manage. It's got like a little magnetic closure opening thing here. The book is here and it stays in place, or you could slide it out, but I just leave it in place. And then the deck is in here. Now, what I do like about this deck, the people are not black, but the backgrounds are black. This is the back of this deck. And the backgrounds are black. So most tarot decks, the backgrounds are white. But this one has a black background, and I really like that. And then I also like this one because it's organized. So each suit has a different color on the corners. The major arcana has a different color on the corners. And I've done readings with this one too. I like this little deck. And I just like everything because it's so compact and accessible. And I think I paid like $5 for it at Half Price Books. What you looking for? Oh, I don't need to.
Okay.
So then this deck I ordered off of Amazon, and it's Miss Cleo. Call me now. Call me now for a reading. Call me now. So this is Miss Cleo's deck, and I just ordered it off of some. What kind of deck does she have? Because I always felt like she was a charlatan, or she was always portrayed as a charlatan. Um, and I haven't done any readings with this deck. Look, I'm looking at it and not showing y'all. The artwork is really shoddy to me. Like it's not a good quality. It's not a good quality deck. I paid like $5 for it. Some of these decks, like I think this the Ghetto Tarot is like a $100 deck, $75 deck. I think the Sun and Moon I paid like $20 for. African Tarot I paid like $20 for. This is just a cheap deck. And I haven't worked with it, so I don't have an opinion about, the quality of the deck. But I sort of like the idea that Miss Cleo was a black woman, and yeah. You could get a deck and do your own reading. Yes, you can. That's how I started. I just started studying. But I was studying with someone at the time. But so I haven't really worked with this deck anymore. Look, I'm separating it out from the decks that I have worked with. This deck I just got the other day from Half Price Books. It's called Celestial Stick Figures, Celestial Stick People, and it's another deck. And I really, really, this is the back of it. This deck, when I saw it, I fell in love with the images. And I like, a lot of times when I do work with people, I like, it's almost like a Rorschach test. Like, what do you see? What do you feel? What does this evoke for you? Because I feel like a lot of our metaphysical work is about what comes up for us, not anybody telling us, but just getting support and guidance and connecting with what we already know, acknowledging what we already know. Dreamer of Diamonds. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see this one and appreciate it. And then this is another dark deck. The cardstock is really, really thin. I don't really care for that so much. But now that I shuffle a different way, that might be less of an issue. And now we are getting to the last. This is technically one of the, not the last, this is the second to last deck that I've gotten. And I haven't done any readings with this deck yet because it has some weird, it's got brushes, quills, diamonds. I have to work with it to understand a little bit more. I like, before I do any readings with other people, I just have to because I don't really understand it. Okay, so then this deck, this is the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcana. And you see it comes in a velvet bag. Now, a lot of tarot readers will keep their decks in a velvet bag, but this whole thing, it comes in this tarot bag, in the velvet. It's a beautiful red velvet, and it says the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcana, first edition. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then when you pull it out, it's in this beautiful brown box. It says, the Afro Goddess, illustrated and written by Andrea Furtick. And then even on the sides, it's got, and it's just so beautiful. It's black and brown, and then she autographed it. I ordered this off of Etsy. This thing was like $100 or $75. This was an expensive deck. And it says, Angela, I wish you the power of the moon, the sun, and the ancestral realm. So that's her autograph there. And then this one has a magnetic flap as well. And you open it up, and then there, when you open it up, it says the Afro Goddess, and then there's words in here. It's just beautiful. The box is thick, the cardstock is thick. Hey, I am recording right now. No, go on. Don't worry about it. You're not even on camera. Okay, and then this is the book, and it's like green and yellow. It's a wonderful book. And then, this is the box. And then this is the deck. It's so beautiful. You can't really see, but it's gold around the edges, but it's like a matte gold. And then look at the images. Look at the images. Look at the images. One thing is that all of these women are just so shapely and so just beautiful and fabulous. Oh, look at the images. Look at the images. It's so beautiful. Look at her hair. Can you see her hair? Okay, and then this, and I don't know if you can appreciate this on camera, but this is the back of, oh yeah, it shows up. Can y'all see that? That's beautiful. Now, the only thing about the back of this deck that kind of tripped me out a little bit is that I do reversals. I know a lot of tarot readers don't do reversals, but I do reversals. And I was kind of like, usually the back of the deck is sort of neutral. Like it could go either way. You don't know whether it's a reversal or not from the back of the deck. But this deck you do. But it hasn't. It's a non-issue. I thought it was going to be an issue, but anyway, that's this deck. And then this is the last deck that I've gotten. When I first started reading, there's kind of like a standard. Oh my gosh, this is all squashed up. I had no idea. There's like a standard deck that most readers use when you see tarot in the public consciousness. There's like a standard deck that is used as to symbolize, to represent tarot cards. If you go to a place and they only have one deck, it's going to be a Rider-Waite deck. Waite, I think, was the illustrator, and Rider was the writer. I don't really know. But I've never had a Rider-Waite deck because I have never, I don't like decks. I have just never felt guided or drawn or attracted to or interested in a deck with just white folks on it. I like black folks on my deck. So this is the Melanated Classic Tarot deck. The quality of this deck, and I think I only paid like $20 or $30 for this deck. The quality of this deck, especially like this box is all squashed up. The box is a little bit bigger than the cards. I had it in a little pouch because I'm working with it because the book is so excellent. I think they call it the little white book that came with it, which is not white on this book. It looks like the deck. And I have my cards in it because I'm still working with them. She has this whole system. But I don't even remember what I was saying. But anyway, this deck is fabulous. It's the classic Rider-Waite deck, theoretically, for the most part. And it has black folks on it. Can y'all see them? Can you tell? Yeah, I love seeing black folks on decks. Those aren't folks; those are animals. Look how deeply melanated this man is right here. You probably can't even see that. Y'all see that? Black, blackity black. And then it was just the quality of usually the tarot books that come with these decks. I mean, I could take them or leave them. I usually read because I feel like I can get something from everything. But this one, it's just like she has this interesting system where she has you mixing minor arcana, well, two major arcana to represent each minor arcana, and it's just kind of like it's like paradigm shifting in a way. So I'm just really processing and working with this deck right now. But I am so excited. I've often felt like, I don't know, if, like not necessarily like there was something wrong with me for not having a classic Rider Waite tarot deck, but I'm just so happy to have a Rider Waite inspired type deck with black folks. And then this is that's the back of the deck. That's the back of this deck. All right. So that's my current collection. There's one or two that I might want to add. I definitely want a mother piece deck. That's going to be a round deck. They have a large one and they have a small one. I'm thinking of the large one. I was looking at some of the imagery on that the other day, and I'm really excited about having a mother piece deck. And I have never worked with a round tarot deck. Oh, I also have these tarot dice. I have never worked with. Excuse me. I have never worked with a tarot. Um, Dang, what was I saying? I got distracted by these dice. But and then I got these dice, like they're tarot dice, and I haven't really worked much with them. I just thought it was like a really interesting novelty item. See, they come in a velvet bag and this tube, and they have this mat and all this other stuff. Um, but I like I think these would be really good to work with at an event, doing readings with people. So that's my collection. I don't know what I was saying I've never had before, but I have these tarot dice. That's an interesting. I look forward to kind of spreading out and playing with all of these more when I have more time. But yep, that's my collection, and I'm just testing out my system. I'm trying to get this live stream going, so that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in seeing more about any of the decks, or getting readings or whatever, just let me know. It's been a blessing for me, and I love being able to serve people in that way. And I love all of my decks. All of the decks I have now just make me smile when I see them, and I'm happy with them in different ways and for different reasons. So today is the best day ever. Be you, be fabulous you. Peace. The Tarot Nefertari is nice too in the Egyptian set. I used to have this deck that was all it was only major arcana, and it was like Meta Netra inspired, but it was by white folks again. Oh, I was gonna say there are a couple. So I have my eye on the mother piece, and then I have my eye on to onyx to dust to onyx. I think it's dust to onyx. I can't remember. And that's by black folks. This Afro Goddess is by black folks. This Melanated Tarot is by black folks, and I think that's it. The other decks that I have are not by black folks that I know of. Maybe I don't know. This Miss Cleo thing. I'm still kind of trying to. But yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna look for the Tarot Nefertari, and see if I vibe with that and feel that. And then sometimes I have watched unboxings and felt different about decks after unboxings or after watching people work with them than when I first heard of them. So, and then when I was doing the workshop in Detroit, both times at the workshop, there was one woman there who had a collection. She had like 50, 80, 100. It was a whole bunch of tarot cards in her deck. And I mean, in her collection. And she would always bring different cards to the workshops. Each session, I think we only did like 8 or 12, 5, I don't know. But we did it we did two different workshops, play shops, and she was at both of them. And but every time she would bring different decks, and it was always fun to like see the decks and touch the decks and look at the imagery. And I for some reason in that context, I never wanted to touch anybody's deck, but I like to see people's decks, especially hers, because she has quite a collection, Mama Gloria. All right, peace, peace, peace. Right, give us the names, drop in the comments your favorite tarot deck. Are you afraid of tarot? Do you love tarot? Do you think tarot is beautiful and wonderful? Do you think tarot is evil? I had this woman when I was first studying years ago with one of my mentors. We were at a place and a woman basically said we were the devil. Do you think I'm the devil? Anyway, I'm about to watch Us. I think I'm gonna watch Us. We're supposed to watch Us, so I'm looking forward to watching Us. Have you seen Us? That has nothing to do with tarot, but I'm about to get off here and go on with the rest of my life. So we just working on getting this live streaming thing going. So yay, yay, yay! Be you, be fabulous, you. Peace.